All right, I'm here with Marko DeSantis from Sugarcult. There's his son, London. Hey, London.
Sup?
And we are going to film the LA version of What the Hell Do I Eat in This Town? So,
All right.
Marko, take it away.
Hey, you guys. What the hell do you eat in LA? HE double hockey sticks, right?
Whatever, I hear it.
Anyway, okay, so here's the thing. I live in LA, and I love to cook, okay?
Right.
I love to cook.
I hear you.
But,
So do I.
yeah, so that's kind of the thing. It's like traveling around the world, I can think of like, okay, where I'm going to send you in Tokyo,
Right.
I'm going to go in Chicago.
Places where you don't have a
told
kitchen,
me,
yeah.
You told me, like, my list, when I get to, if I'm in Chicago, I bust out my little list you gave me.
Yeah,
years
that's
ago.
kind of
It
like
probably
why
needs
we're
to be
doing
updated
this.
now.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this vlog. For me, too.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing this.
So
'cause
where do
you're
you,
like- you're
okay,
the
so when
guy.
you cook here, where do you source your ingredients?
Well, we go to, there's a little sort of cheap market down there. We can go get most of the stuff we
Yeah.
need. But there's a great farmer's market that just started happening in our neighborhood. It happens on Wednesdays.
And you live in Altadena?
Yeah, we live in Altadena. Yeah. And so there's a great little farmer's market. And they have, tons of little local, they have the Beyond the Olive. London, would you bring me that thing? I'll show them that.
Yeah.
That's really good. It's really good olive oil. And I guess, I don't know. You only know what you taste.
Right.
But apparently, like, they've won all these competitions,
Ask
like
Alana.
going head to head with, Italian olive
Here,
oil
let's
places.
get that label
Yeah.
right up in here.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just
Ascalano.
Beyond the
So
Olive.
so they had a space down in Pasadena by the main drag, but apparently they just got squeezed out because the owner of the building, is
Landlord.
selling out to Jimmy John's. So
Gotta go where the money
Jimmy
is.
John's squeezing out the little guy.
Oh, well. So support Beyond the Olive.
Yeah, so that's cool. So the cool thing is they're going DIY now. So they're just at the farmers market. You can get their
Cool.
stuff from
Online
there.
too?
And then you can, I think beyondtheolive.com. And then it's like a refillable bottle, so you can finish this
joke.
and then bring it to them, and then they'll just exchange it.
Good,
for another one,
good.
Or they'll refill it if they have the thing. So it's kind of a cool thing. In Pasadena, it's weird when we first moved to this area. There was I was touring a lot, and so I didn't have that much time to really get into what was going on here. But there really wasn't that much of a food scene. But in recent years, it's actually become kind of the food scene for LA, like downtown LA
Yeah.
and Pasadena. There's been a lot of the traditionally a lot of the good stuff, a lot of the good chefs, from what I understand, in Los Angeles, were out in like Santa Monica, way out there.
Right.
There's no good restaurants that I'm aware of in Malibu, which is kind of a funny thing because that's where people with a lot of money live.
Right, it's a pricey neighborhood.
But the funny thing about people with a lot of money is they have really bad taste. They're like, we're gonna get pizza, and they order like Little Caesars or something. You're like, what are you guys doing? No, there's actually good pizza in Malibu. I think it's called what's it called? D'Amours.
Yeah.
D''Amore. But other than that, there's like the chefs. There was some stuff in Beverly Hills and Hollywood, but lately it's been moving out here. I don't know if it's because like everyone's living in Upco Park and Highland Park and Eagle Rock. And, downtown LA has gotten all like fixed up now, so it's kind of opened up the 110 freeway, and so people have kind of moved out here.
Right.
And a lot of chefs are coming out here now. There's a place that just opened up in the last year that we went for like a fancy night out, called what is it called? The Alta Eats. It's kind of a dumb name, but it's called Alta Eats, and it's a little bistro, just not far from here at all. Not in a place, not in like a main drag where you would expect a nice restaurant.
Right.
It's like next to a liquor store.
Okay.
But it's like a chef that could be. I mean, I don't know the guy's name.
Yeah.
But research it. I'm willing to bet that he was in a big fancy restaurant somewhere in New York or Chicago, and
Okay,
and
so if you
decided
go
to
there,
just come here and chill out.
What do you like to order there?
Oh my gosh, they have like a lot of small plates, so it's kind of like a tasting, like
Sort of like
that,
tapas?
like the attitude of tapas,
Yeah.
where it's like you get to try a lot of different things. Can I tell you the exact thing? We got something that was something to do with Brussels sprouts. It was amazing. Something that had like a duck egg on it. We went there a while ago. They just have really creative, interesting, but not like overly pretentious kind of stuff.
Right.
It's like creative interesting stuff that's gonna taste good, and you don't have to convince yourself you're into, which I
Gotcha.
like.
Yeah.
I love adventurous food that you don't have to convince yourself you like.
Right, none of that Emperor's New Clothes
Yeah,
thing.
not the Emperor's New Clothes thing where you're like, rad, this is like so not rad.
Right, this is
But
gnarly.
because I paid so much money for it, I'm just gonna, and because everyone in this place looks like they know what's going on, I'm
Right.
gonna tell myself I like it. Like, so when you find those restaurants, which I think now you're starting to find more of, because I think people are
People are
less-
getting hip.
people are just less and less willing to tolerate this sort of like pretentious.
Right, like that whole micro gastronomy thing that was going on, where you're like,
And, like, there's a
I don't
few
want to
places
smell
that are
my
good.
food, and I don't want to eat foam.
Yeah,
I want to eat food.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a few places that are, and that's just the natural evolution, which I think is
Right.
great, because I also don't like the sort of like you have to be this cool to ride this ride. Like
Right.
I don't like the sort of bar like of like you got to be this hip and have this kind of a mustache in
Right.
order to order this beer. Like I like places that are just like populist and like, hey, look, you can get this, or check it out, you can also
Right.
get this.
I like places that educate you too.
Yeah, that's great too.
Yeah.
They don't, we won't walk in there and they kind of go, oh, okay, whatever.
So what else you got cooking for us in LA?
Another good place in this area that I have to mention, also just opened up, is called the Union.
Yeah.
It's down in Pasadena, Old Town Pasadena, and it's on Union, and it's called the Union. So it's
Okay.
kind of easy to remember. And we went there, and the guy is like another one of these guys that's like going way. It's kind of like I've always thought there's so many parallels between food and music.
Totally. Me
There's
too.
like the fast food, like the chains, where it's just music for everybody. You
Right.
know, like just kind of background music while you're at spin class or whatever. You
Right.
just don't want to think about it.
Sonic wallpaper.
And then there's and then there's the music where it's like really like it's a taster's menu. You
Mm-hmm.
get like the little thing, and you want to enjoy it with like a really good wine or whatever. Anyway, there's this place down there, and they go. It's like one of those things where you hear someone's record and you go, oh, this is great, like your record. You hear it, you go,
Thanks.
this is great, and then you find out that it wasn't recorded to a click, and that they were almost all live takes, and that then you find out those extra things, and it just
Makes it better.
It makes it better, and then you makes you
Yeah.
appreciate it a little bit more, even in retrospect, and kind of want to go back and try it again.
Right.
So this place, the Union, oh great, and then the phone rings. But hey, it's real, right? You don't like edit that
Yeah.
stuff out.
No.
So yeah, I
Why
love
not?
that. Okay, it's a private caller.
That sounds like a song right there.
No, it sounds like a
Was that an
military
Eddie Money
person. Like
song?
someone's last
Private
name
call-
is Caller and they're private caller, like as opposed to general caller or
That's
sergeant.
grandma. You know that
Is it
for a
grandma?
fact.
Whenever it's grandma, it's private caller. Is that the deal? Okay. So anyway,
That's a
yeah,
fact.
That's Siena in the background.
that's Siena. That's
Here, this is Siena. We'll
Sienna
show you
wave.
Siena. She's adorable.
Awesome. Anyway, so this place that is the Union, and the thing I'm saying is like you find out that they make their own pasta.
Yeah.
And I'm half Italian, so I'm like kind of a pasta snob, and
Italian
the
too.
thing about Italian, like, and I'm I would be corrected that I'm not just Italian, I'm Roman. So like when you're Roman, it's like it doesn't take that much to make good pasta.
No,
People
flour and
freak
eggs.
out. Yeah, it's just make some pasta, throw some olive oil, some garlic, a little bit of pepperoncino or whatever.
It's a simple thing
Let it just
done
kind of
well.
like not overdo, and
Yeah.
then throw some, Roma tomatoes in there. Just kind of let it go, let it do its thing.
Kind of weird.
A little bit of salt, and then just let it be.
And you're
Make
golden.
some pasta and put
Yeah.
it together, and it's awesome. And if you want, you can spend a bunch of money and have someone else do it for you, so you don't have to do the dishes. But it's like it's not that hard to do.
Nah.
So, but there's a lot of people that feel like they need to overcomplicate it, and they need to put all these things in it, and okay, so it's Italian, so I need to like just dump a bunch of oregano, and it's like no one even does that.
Yeah.
If you go to Italy, it's like no one in Australia drinks Foster's. There's all these weird little like things like you think you're having Italian food when you have Italian food. You're most likely probably not really even having it.
Right. Growing up Indian, it's the same thing with Indian restaurants. It's like you never see the stuff that we have at home
Right.
at the buffet. You just
Yeah.
don't.
That's true.
Because
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's I
mean, it's
don't
a
think
big
that's a
country
bad
with-
thing. I think
yeah.
it's actually kind of neat when you see like a westernized version of a foreign
Totally.
cuisine because it's like
it's not even that westernized.
cross pollination of
It's
things.
just it's like you're trying to digest a whole country or a whole culture's menu that's been developing for millennia.
Oh yeah.
You can't, it's like America it's baby steps.
Yeah,
you know, we're
exactly.
doing great. Like, think about like
Come a long way.
think about what Chinese food was when we were growing up as kids. It was sweet and sour chicken, and that was it.
That was it.
You know, and what was Mexican food? I don't know, Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, Mexican, exactly.
You know.
So we've gotten into like provincial Mexican. Speaking of
Interior
Mexican,
Mexican.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a great place. While you're in this area, you should check it out. So the Union is cool. They make their own. You know, the guy makes his own pasta.
Yeah.
And he makes different types of pasta for each. You know, like I had squid ink pasta. It was really good. You know, I mean, it was heavy. It was rich, but it was a great dish. A lot of these places like Alta Eats, like you bring your own wine and there's no corkage fee because there's a liquor store next door. I forgot to bring your own wine. You can go there and buy a bottle of it.
Right.
It's like they just want you to come back and make that like a regular thing, not like a once a year thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, I don't feel like cooking tonight, but I also don't feel like having something lame. Let's go there.
Right.
You know, there's a place in Eagle Rock, which is there's a couple good little things to hit in Eagle Rock. There's a Mexican place called Cacao Mexicatessen. So it's like interior kind of provincial Mexican food where you can get like Oaxacan this or this for this mole from here or this kind of thing. And they'll you'll get like they have these duck carnitas.
No
tacos.
joke.
Oh, you would love it, dude. You should go there. It's like 10 minutes away. Yeah, duck carnitas. So good.
So it's a deli type thing too?
For some reason, well, I think they'll sell like
could I buy
Mexican
duck carnitas by the pound?
Maybe. I don't know. I go there and just sit there and eat. But you can actually, and they have like Mexican craft beers. So you can go there and have like some kind of like an IPA from Monterrey, Mexico.
No joke.
With like, and they'll make different, they'll have like a different tortilla for a different type of taco. So if you get
so like pasta carries different kinds of sauces?
Exactly. They'll have a special made tortilla with like maybe like blue corn, for the duck. And then they'll have like a pickled whatever cabbage on top with some kind of special salsa. And then right next to it, you'll have your squash blossom tacos. And they're made on a different type of tortilla with a different type of salsa.
So they like fry some squash blossoms?
So it's not just the like one size fits all, like here's your corn tortilla, here's whatever meat you want, and then here's the same exact topping. You're getting kind of like this, like...
That's next level.
It's pretty cool. And it's
That's
good.
Artistic.
And it's really good. And they have like Mexican coffee there that has that sort of cinnamon in it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
like that they make in the clay pot, like the Oyas?
Yeah. So they have that there.
Joke.
It's called Cacao. So it's good. In a town like LA where there's so many options for Mexican food, that place is, it's definitely not the like authentic little greasy hole in the wall in the bad part of town.
Right.
But it's like they're taking it and they're going, okay, instead of just like also doing Mexican food, we're gonna kind of like do something that's not totally done by like this is
but it's
like,
still like inherently genuinely Mexican. It's just like
it's probably what someone's grandma's making over there and someone's grandma's making over there versus just what every other
it's like how do you digest a whole country in one restaurant?
Yeah. So they're doing something pretty cool. Cacao, and right across the street from Cacao over a little ways is a place called Oinkster. And it's one of these places that's been featured on like those
Man versus Food or
one of those shows
Dives
like that.
and Diners. Yeah.
But that place is actually just a pretty good place. It's not like great, but it's a pretty good place to get a hamburger or like a corned beef sandwich or whatever. Like they have like their thing that they do.
Yeah.
You're getting me going now, and I'm thinking about another place I definitely want to tell you about. Well, I don't really want to tell you about my secret place to have breakfast.
You can just tell me what you ordered there.
I just worry that like if I tell you about it, that like it's just gonna it's kind of a little secret handshake. But I don't mind. I'll tell you in a little bit. But first, let me tell you, there's a couple places if you want like steak.
Yeah.
There's some old school steakhouses which are kind of fun where like you go in there and you just picture. I mean, obviously there's like that place on Hollywood Boulevard that's like the oldest restaurant in Hollywood, Musso and Frank's. Which is like, you can't go wrong if you just go there and have a martini and have a steak and have like some 98-year-old guy pour you the martini who's been doing it. You know, probably made Marilyn Monroe one at one point. That's kind of a Hollywood
gin or
experience.
vodka martini.
Oh, would I? Well, I mean, you should. I think those guys would probably tell you gin, but generationally, I'd probably just prefer the vodka.
I like gin.
You like the gin?
I do.
Yeah. No?
I like both.
All right, I'll have a gin one. I'll have one of each. How about that?
Dirty or not dirty?
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
But dirty is fun. But I mean, I like the taste of the vodka. the vermouth. But to get steak, there's a place called Taylor's, kind of in Koreatown. There's also one in La Cañada, and that's the like quintessential like dark, red
Booths.
Yeah, Naugahyde red booths, and like you just get a good steak there, like a New York steak or whatever. There's another place I discovered in Glendale, right by where my kids went to like this theater camp. It's called Damon's, and it's been there since 1938. And it's a little bit of like a Hawaiian, like kitschy, but like it's not like kitschy as in like they just did it like last week. It's like literally they haven't touched it since the 40s.
Okay. So it looks like it should be a David Lynch set piece.
Exactly, and it probably was. You know what I mean? Like it's just like there, and like it looks like the people working there have been there since the start, and they have good kind of really good steak. Damon's in Glendale. The place to go to get, I've been to Japan, for some reason the band just started, like we really took root in Japan.
Yeah.
So of all the places in the world, I've probably been to Japan the most. I've been there like 13 or 14 times.
So you've had some real ramen.
I mean, yeah, lots of it. And I'm just like when I go to Japan, forget about it. I'm just like, okay, I gotta get this, ramen here, sushi there, this, that, there. Like I had raw chicken last time. I went to this guy from, he works for Beats headphones now. This rad guy, a friend of mine in Japan named Reishi. He took me to this place, and I wish I could remember what it's called. In Japan, you can never remember what it's called, what street it's on. You just have to find it. You're like, it's that little place next to that place.
Right, and you need a guide.
You kind of need someone to take you around, or you just need to take. I just like run around taking like iPhone photos of everything and like kind of picture, or drop a pin and just try to remember where it is, because it's impossible. You get. We had reservations, once for a restaurant on this river in what's the place called? The nice place in Japan with a golden temple. It's like the famous place.
Kyoto?
Yeah, in Kyoto. Duh. Senior moment. We had reservations, and literally like we couldn't find the place because it's like just a little like flag with some kanji written on it.
Was it that kaiseki restaurant where it's like they were originally like Buddhist monks who cook now?
I don't think so.
That kaiseki joint I hear is dope.
But I need to hear about that.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll tell you about that.
Oh yeah, there's all these great places. I mean, we could do a whole episode on Japan. But you're doing a little product now. You don't have to shut them. Anyway, so. I went to this place and had raw chicken, and then I had like they're really into organs. Yeah. So it was like this is like seared chicken hearts, and here's like
So do you like organ meat? Like are you
not
into
generally? Normally I kind of avoid that kind of thing, but for some reason like maybe it was like in context since we were in Japan and because it was cooked. I mean this place just does it like it's one of those places where they're not gonna like.
Kill you.
They know exactly what to put on there and how to cook it, and they get the freshest stuff. And you're having chicken sashimi, and that's a weird thing for a Western.
Yeah, to wrap your mind around
like,
that.
I'm literally like
I'm doing what they tell me not
raw
to do.
chicken on purpose right now. And it was amazing. It was really good.
Sweet.
I mean, it was really good. This place is like they only do one thing. They do chicken. Yeah. And it's like you just get what you get. They just bring you out this course. And it's it's this tiny place you have to wait at least an hour to get a table. Yeah. And you just go and you just deal with it. And you just drink beer rad. And it's sweaty and hot and crowded. You're like this, just eating raw chicken next to some other guy. You're eating like hearts, and that's just the deal. And I'm like the only guy in there that's not Japanese too. Yeah. So they're just like, whoa, is this guy lost?
That's heavy. That's awesome.
It's pretty awesome. But but I live for that kind of thing. So there's actually in downtown LA. There's a place called Little Tokyo, and there's actually some pretty legit places to go. Okay. There's a place called, I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong. There's a Hello Kitty store. Yeah. There's a place called Daikokuya. Yeah. And you can get really like that ramen with like that pork fat melted in it.
The tonkatsu broth.
Tonkatsu, yeah, all that. And it's really good. But it's another place where you'll wait outside for an hour to get in. But I kind of like that.
Yeah. Can you get a beer in line?
You can't get a beer in line.
Hot Dotties, you can get a beer in line. Burger
really?
In Austin. We gotta go sometime.
Oh yeah, dude.
Next time you're down.
I want to come to Austin. I'm overdue.
Yeah, we gotta
eat. Yeah, I just want to eat my way through Austin next time I come. I'll come a little early, and we'll just.
So that's what was the name of that?
Daiku. It's Daiko. K-U... Wait, did I say Daikoku? Yeah.
Daikoku?
Daikokuya.
Thanks,
so
London.
My 9-year-old. Daikokuya.
There's a couple good ramen shops in Austin. There's like Ramen Tatsuya
Oh, okay.
and Michi Ramen. I should show you those menus.
I definitely want. I'm gonna write all those things down. And somewhere in my little list here, there's a place that everyone, when I tell them I like Daikokuya, they're like, "Oh, you gotta also check out." And I haven't checked them out yet, so I can't vouch for them. But oh yeah, there's a couple good places here for Thai that my kid London just reminded me. There's a place called Daisy Mint, which is kind of like Thai fusion. It's kind of like an update of Thai, you know.
Cool.
And they have another place called Abricot, Abricott, and it's got like, it's almost like a tug of war between Thai and French.
No joke.
But
that makes sense.
It works.
There's a huge French influence in Vietnam and Southeast Asia.
Okay, so that, because I was like, what the heck, but
it's like those Vietnamese banh mi sandwiches. What do they come on? They're on that crusty French bread, right?
I can tell you exactly where to go to get one. In San Gabriel, there's a place, you drive all the way down there, it's like $2 a sandwich. It's a big old sandwich. And again, I have no idea what they're called, but I tell you exactly where they are. That place is great. And right by there, you can get an hour-and-a-half massage, like foot massage and just like deep tissue massage that you're just like, you feel like you just like beat up by some like Chinese guy,
right?
For $15.
No joke.
And so you end up feeling bad and tipping them like $20,
right?
Because you're like, I can't believe, like, and it's like, it's no frills. There's not like some like beautiful girl and like calm music. It's not like going to like, some spa. It's like you go in there, it's pretty like working class. Like they're watching the news at full volume in Chinese, but then you just like surrender to the experience and they just give you the gnarliest massage, and it's like no money at all for like way longer. Because massages, like I get this like massage anxiety where I'm like, as soon as I'm getting a massage, I start to like, especially if it's not good, I start to like count the minutes and then quantify how much money it's costing per minute. And then I almost like start to get like, well, it's going to be over soon. With this one, you're just like, you just walk out there just kind of floating, and then you just look and there's like the place to get the Vietnamese sandwiches, or you can go to that place over there, like legit Chinese place, and get that like spicy pork thing, dan dan noodles.
Yeah.
Kind of oh my gosh, so good. That place is called Noodle King. I do remember that, Noodle King in San Gabriel.
And so the Vietnamese.
Am I getting way too like ADD on this one?
This is great.
Because I'm like going to Japan, then going to San Gabriel, and then I'm like back here.
LA's a big town.
LA's a big town. That's the thing. There's a lot of people that's, and I'm not from LA. I'm from Santa Barbara originally, and but I've lived here long enough now that I finally got over the thing. Like when you're not from LA, you can relate to all the other people you meet along the way that are like, oh, LA, yeah, dude, and you're like, I know why you're saying that. Because there's the shallow, there's the race to be cool, there's all the fake boobs and the traffic and all that stuff. But then you realize like there's got to be something about LA,
right?
And you just got to win the fight. You got to stick in here long enough, and then you find all the little hidden gems. And then you realize this place is actually like. And I go to New York all the time, and I love New York. But this place is actually probably one of it's a great city to live in because you have to learn the secret handshakes.
Yeah, you don't have this large of a talent pool and not find some talent.
Well, exactly. There's a lot of great stuff, but you just got to know where to look for it.
Yeah,
and doesn't instantly reveal itself, and
right.
And I kind of like that. Because from touring, like it is kind of convenient when you get to a town and everything you need to know about is on the main drag.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, cool. I can get coffee at that place. I can get a beer at that place. I can get food at that place, and then I can go to that record shop.
And we're done.
Here, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be here for years and find out about the different places, and then like the layers. Once you earn their trust, they'll tell you the next layer of like, oh, you have to get the French dip from that place, not that place. That place just has a better publicist.
Right.
And then you learn all these things, and then you have time to try them eventually.
Yeah.
And there's just, I don't know, there's just all kinds of cool things to check out. So, my secret, I was going to tell you about those other ramen places, but you can just follow your nose. I mean, there's a great place, Italian place called Claro's in Arcadia, where you can get amazing Italian sandwiches for like $6, which, you could share it, feed like 3 people with one. Claro's, I recommend that place. And what was the other ramen places? The name of this episode is. I thought Marco said he didn't know what he was going to talk about. Instead, I couldn't get him to stop talking. Oh, Santuka ramen and Men o Tokushima. Okay, Santuka and Men o Tokushima. Those are the two other ramen places that I have it on good faith are awesome.
Gotcha.
So now, and we'll talk about Santa Barbara another time because there's a lot of good food in Santa Barbara too.
Yeah.
If you know where to look.
But
The what?
your secret place.
My secret place? Oh, so
the breakfast joint?
Just
Yeah.
don't bore us, get to the chorus, Marco. So my breakfast joint, if you just want like just straight up diner American breakfast, like bacon and eggs.
Yeah, I do. Hash browns, crispy.
Okay. Right. If I was going to take you here and we had to like run right away, I would take you over to Fox's Cafe in Altadena. But if I really had time to take you someplace, I would take you, this is my secret place, okay? Police Academy Diner.
Police Academy Diner.
Yeah.
No joke.
So here's the deal. You drive like you're going to Dodger Stadium. So
right.
Follow the signs to Dodger Stadium. And then, instead of going into Dodger Stadium, you do like a hard left turn and kind of go down this way. And there's a police academy, the LA Police Academy, where they train, you just follow, like listen, you hear people like shooting, you know? Yeah. And that's a police academy. Like, it's the police academy, right? Where they teach LAPD.
And they have a cafeteria there.
In the police academy, up the stairs, through the thing, there's a cafeteria there that has not been touched since the 40s or 50s.
All right.
So it's like the little "please wait to be seated" sign. Everything about it's like this like amazing, like pristine diner. You know, not like a place that like later on, like some like investors decided to
find out about this joint? Did you know a policeman?
No.
And just
a journalist, a friend of mine who's a writer who's he told me about it. Yeah,
and they just let people go in there.
You just go in there, and like that's the thing is like they do all their business. All the people that go there are cops and aspiring cops, you know, and so it's intimidating. You're sitting there having bacon and eggs, and you look, and there's just like guys sitting at the bar ordering from like Marge or whoever it is, you know, and they've all just got their like billy clubs and guns and the whole thing. And you're, you know, but you can go in there. It's open to the public, but they just don't advertise because they don't need to because they do all their business from the people that go there.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. They're not going to stop
you if you go in there.
I kind of want to go just to see if they'll roll me.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Dig it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
how
a
about
good thing to do. Police Academy Diner, and you know it's like charmingly hipster free. You know.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like one or two in there, but.
Okay, so what about fancy pants dinner?
Fancy pants dinner?
Yeah, where do you take your wife on a special occasion?
I mean, you know, what's funny is like we go to a fancy restaurant, but sometimes we'll do something crazy. Like there's like outdoor, like kind of pop-up outdoor drive-ins.
Yeah.
And there's a place called like I think it's called At the Dusk. Like sort of a play on the John Fonte book, Ask the Dusk. I think it's called At the Dusk Drive-In. And like, you know, stash a bottle of wine, bring some food, go there, and they basically pop up a screen. They park us all like sardines like this, you know, and then they play like against the backdrop of like the skyline of downtown LA. And otherwise what would be a really sketchy part of town where you'd probably get mugged. They play like, you know, we saw Streetcar Named Desire. You know, and then like they'll play like maybe a fun like John Hughes movie from the 80s.
Gotcha.
So you can do something like that. That's the kind of stuff. Like we'll do something like that.
That way you get a lot of ambience.
Yeah. Fancy restaurant. I mean, there's some nice places. I still have family in Santa Barbara, so I would like maybe go to Santa Barbara and go in the back country where the wineries are. Mm-hmm. Really into like all those wineries. You saw them. They got popular in the movie Sideways. Other than that, California wine was all about Napa. But Santa Barbara, where I grew up, the backcountry there was real good wine. Like, you know, Demetria, Almarosa, Sunstone. You know, so much good stuff back there.
Right. And they usually have good chefs at their wineries.
There's great chefs back there right now. I mean, you can just go have a fun, nice steak, uncomplicated, great place called the Hitching Post. Or you could go to, what's the Italian place called back there? It's really good too. I can't remember what it's called. Hold on one second. And then there's another place that just opened up, and I can't remember. Do you remember the place we went to in San Ynez? That Italian place? We all sat outside.
I can stand up though.
Remember with Yaya and everything? What was that called? Not Route 242. That's good too, but that's pretty fancy.
Route 246.
246. Route 246. I was thinking about Front 242. Yeah, Route 246.
That's like for millionaires, so you know.
Yeah, but you can.
It's by a hotel, so it's tourist style.
Yeah. All right. I gotcha. What's the other place though that we went to? Remember that little place?
The Italian place.
It was. Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, there's some really great food going on back there in Santa Ynez. And then there's a place there's a kind of an artist area in town called they call it the Funk Zone now, and there's it's kind of just an old like warehouse district that they've repurposed in Santa Barbara.
Right.
And there's a friend of ours named Jamie has his own guitar shop called the Guitar Bar. There, it's amazing, and there's all these great restaurants right around there. Some of which I haven't tried. One place is called the Copper Penny, and it's literally tiled in pennies.
That's gorgeous.
Which is pretty rad. You got to go through Santa Barbara on your travels here.
Cool.
And then there's another place called the Lark that everyone's saying is supposed to be amazing. Which that's where I would like to go. Like the next time we have an excuse to go somewhere
nice.
fancy.
Yeah.
There's another place in downtown LA that's nice. It's a pretty decent Italian place called what was that place called? Is it called Bacco Mercat or something like that? No, that would be fancy. That's just like
that's
place
like
you guys go for like.
It's like rootin' tootin' cowboy style.
Yeah, that's just kind of just comfort food. But yeah. Anyways,
You do have pasta there.
yeah, fancy. I mean, there's also the place in Hollywood called Mozza.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that's been around for a while now. Mozza. It's a collaboration between Mario Batali and the woman, I can't remember her name, but the woman who started the La Brea Bakery that started making all these artisan breads, again. And they make just really amazing pizza. Hey, speak of the devil, it's my mom. Hey, hold on for a second, I'm gonna ask my mom. Hello?
How charming.
Hi, real quick, because my friend's interviewing me about restaurants. What's that place in Santa Ynez? No. What's that place in Santa Ynez where you ate, where it was really great Italian? Really? Yeah. It's oh my gosh. It's literally just called the Santa Ynez Restaurant.
No joke.
Like, you know what I mean? Because they probably know everyone's going to forget what it's called. And like, you know what I mean? Anyways. All right, here, let me call you back in 1 second, okay? Are you guys on your way? Are you guys on your way out here?
I love it.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's okay.
Keep them occupied.
Victoria's on her way home too, so it'll be good. All right. Love you. Bye.
If you had to talk any longer, I'd take over and occupy
Yeah, I
it
know
for a
you
second.
would. Okay. So
It's actually an interview.
So anyways, that's what the deal is. So now we gotta go get some fish because I've got some relatives coming over. We're gonna cook some fish. And there's a great place in Glendale. This is where you have to go if you live here, because despite like LA, all the postcards have pictures of the ocean. We're like really far from the beach, right? So Glendale, you go to Fish King. It's called Fish King. It's really good.
What are you gonna buy today, you think?
I don't know. I mean, that's
you're
kind
gonna
of
see
the fun.
see what
Looks nice.
Really.
You can't really plan it out with seafood because you kind of
you got to see what they catch.
What's fresh and see what. Yeah, you just got to look at it. It's like that's
what are you hoping they have?
I'd like some sea bass, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. I mean, something that might be. How would you make sea bass if you were gonna like grill it or something?
Yeah, that's a great way to do it, or poach it in white wine and butter.
Oh, that's nice
with
too.
With dill.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Maybe some maybe halibut, something like that.
I love halibut.
Yeah,
you know what I would like to do with sea bass, because I think
What?
it's kind of a firm fish. You know, what if you cedar planked it like salmon?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I bet that would be good.
They probably sell the little cedar planks there.
Probably.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or salmon would be good. What probably do is like salmon and either sea bass or halibut.
I love halibut.
You know what I mean? Halibut sounds. Yeah, now we're gonna get halibut. You just inspired me. If it looks
so good. Yeah.
What does Molly think?
Molly likes fish. She likes everything.
She's cruising over here.
So we'll do that, and then
you
like maybe
forgot-
have like I think my mom's bringing like a rosé because that's good if you don't want like straight up white wine with fish. Rosé is kind of nice. So I don't know.
Okay, back to the
Or we
Fish
could
King
just.
thing.
What do you think?
About the
Fish King.
I like making those really. I use the really tiny shrimp.
Yeah.
That inside they have. So it's basically like tiny little baby shrimp, just with like this really good zesty inside. It's basically like
shrimp cocktails. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about shrimp
shrimp
cocktail.
You can make shrimp cocktail. Yeah. That's
yeah,
awesome.
just it's in
Yeah.
a bowl, not those fancy like champagne-ish glasses.
Yeah,
Alright.
gotcha.
Or margarita glasses, whatever. I just like to put them in a little bowl, throw them all in there, maybe a pound, and put some cocktail sauce on
I
there.
love cocktail sauce.
Nice.
Throw it in the middle of the table,
Squeeze
and
some
you got
lemon.
a bistro.
Squeeze some lemon in there,
Oh,
maybe.
I forgot the most
a lot of
important part.
horseradish.
Oh,
Put
some
some-
horseradish too. Yeah, we gotta do that. You're probably not
Horseradish in
gonna
the
rock that,
cocktail
though, huh?
sauce.
Nah, I'm
We'll
not
put
the
that on the
horseradish
side.
type.
We'll put that on the side.
Maybe when you get
That
older.
was side
For the
over.
grown-ups.
Yeah. Do you guys like shellfish too? Mussels.
Yeah, I do. I love
I
that
like
stuff.
crab.
I like crab
Yeah.
too.
I
Not, I
like
haven't
that.
ever
That's
had
right.
it in a
That's,
shower.
that's one thing I'll definitely order if I'm in an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
I almost always like look for the something like that.
Crabbish.
If there's a pasta dish that has like clams and
Yeah,
mussels on
you're
it.
in.
You know, and that's something I like. I like another person to make for me.
Yeah.
You know, I love to cook, but like with that kind of stuff, I don't know why. It's one of those things where like, although I would probably check it a lot more carefully
Yeah.
if it was me, I still just want to believe that someone back there cares about my well-being more than my own self.
Right.
And because I'm paying for it.
And that they're
doing-
experts.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
one of those things. You know, kind of like when you take a taxi, you're just
Totally.
like, oh, this guy's a professional. You know, meanwhile he's just like, oh, talking on his cell phone, like putting on his deodorant while he's driving. You know.
At least he's using deodorant.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
does
You're
that
right.
these
You're
days?
right.
Who
Yeah.
does that
I'm
these
not really a
days?
All right.
seafood peeps.
All right.
I
And
know,
so-
I know.
I think.
Phil, check this out.
Oh yeah. Hey, my test pressings got
Test
shipped to
pressing.
Marco.
Who got the test pressings?
Marco did because he's
You.
a good friend.
All right. So here's what I did. You know what I contributed to the Kickstarter campaign, peeps?
What'd you get?
I gave you the connection with Ken.
That's
That
right.
was my contribution
Yeah.
to the Kickstarter.
Totally.
Because I think I feel bad. I was like, I don't think I even
So,
donated any money.
Yeah,
to
here,
this
people
guy's
at home,
thing.
check this out.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Bubble wrap. We'll keep
My
that.
favorite.
But then,
Be careful.
here's the test pressing.
Fresh.
And then if you look at the grooves,
Dude,
where is it? Somewhere in
On
there,
the
it's
other
just etched.
Taking off that little shipment status tag.
Yeah, that's-
Who cares about those?
Oh,
little
there you can.
sticky
I don't know if you can
notes?
see it. It says "Sing along until you feel better" in very pretty script,
No, I
right
can't.
on the inner groove. Up there it is. Can't wait to put this on a turntable. Where do I go to listen to this thing?
Oh, just go to that place, Permanent Records, and you know what?
Alright.
They're originally from Chicago. So
Yeah.
you probably have some good, like, you probably make a love connection with them, and maybe they'd carry your record, you know?
Sounds good. All right,
Because I
maybe
think
I'll head
it's a
there
couple.
next.
I think it's like a husband and wife that run the place.
Yeah.
Isn't that the place that's right next to the Metro? Isn't that Permanent Records? What's that place?
You know, I can't even think back
On
that.
Clark Street. There's a little record shop there. I think that. Anyway, I know that from what I've heard, it's like a couple, and they moved.
I think
out from
Permanent
Chicago.
Records in Chicago is on Chicago Avenue.
Oh, maybe. Let's
All right.
just leave it for Phil.
So that wraps up What the Hell Do I Eat in This
Awesome.
Town with Marko DeSantis of Sugarcult.
What do I eat? What am I gonna eat? I'm
Now
gonna
we
eat your
know.
camera.
Nice, and now we know. See you
See you
later.
later.
Bye, Siena. You're so cute.
My friend's over here.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.